Hello Heavy Metal Maidens and Masters, I'm Heavy Metal Momma and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a Killstar Summer Dress haul for you. But before we get to that, remember to like this video, comment down below to discuss any of the things that come up in the video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and thank you to all of you that already do. Hit that notification bell so you can find out whenever I upload, and welcome. So, a Killstar Summer Dress haul. I know that this is a little bit late, what with it now being essentially autumn, but I bought these dresses a little while ago whilst I was on my hiatus, and I really thought that I need to squeeze in a review and a haul video for you now, because you might still want to pick some of these up because they could potentially be pulled into autumn and or spring, or you might have a holiday coming up, so you would still be interested in these dresses and you might be able to get them on a sale therefore. So let's get into this review. So the first dress that I have for you is the Heath Maxi dress. This is a gorgeous milkmaid style dress. So descriptions and materials. This is a 100% viscose dress, which is a soft but non-elasticated material. It's got this statement Bardo neckline here, so you can either have it on the shoulders like this or off the shoulders. It's got an elasticated empire waistline. Now the elastic isn't particularly, it's not going to suck it to your waistline unless you are pushing the edge of the sizing and that you could possibly size up, but it does definitely pull it in a little bit to just give it some shape. It's got this adjustable front tie here, so we've got essentially a break in the two pieces at the front here, if you can see my hand through it, there we go, and then you've got this tie front here that you can do up to keep the two pieces together. So if you're somebody who has got quite a little waist but you've got a rather large bust area, you could buy the size that fits you on the waist and then adjust it to accommodate your bust. However, that would mean that you could possibly be quite stretching this gap here, so it depends whether or not you're comfortable with there being something on show there. I mean, you could just wear a little like a crop top or something underneath it to cover it up. Depends what you're comfortable with, how you like to wear your clothes. So it's got these little cute puff sleeves, which is sort of very of a milkmaid dress. It's kind of what makes the milkmaid dress, and it's got these cuffs here, so it is about 1.5 centimeters wide, the cuff here, which has no stretch. Then we have got seam detailing, so about 2/3 of the way down the skirt we've got the first seam, so we've got like a ruffle edge here, and then 1 inch below the very bottom hem we've got another ruffle edge there. Just a nice little detail. This is a super maxi dress. It is exceptionally long. On me, I am 5'3", 160 centimeters. I have to wear platform shoes in this and it's still cutting it close. So it's definitely one for the tall gals. If you are much shorter than 5'3" or you don't like wearing big heels, this probably isn't the dress for you. And the pièce de résistance, the thing that everybody that wears dresses and skirts wants in a dress or a skirt, pockets. We love a pocket. The quality and the construction. So the material, it being 100% viscose, like I said, there's no elasticity in it at all, which is fine. It means it's a light and breezy dress for on a hot summer's day, but where it is quite a thin material, it does mean I can't get it to work on camera, but if you hold it up to a window, you can kind of see through it a little bit. Obviously, you are not a window, you are a person, so you are providing a backdrop to that. However, I think if you were completely naked under this dress, you might be able to make something out. So definitely one to at least wear proper pants and a bra, unless you're an exhibitionist and you don't care. But definitely something you might want to take in consideration when you're either buying this or choosing what to wear underneath this dress. Now, the cuff sleeves on this were tight. I think that from the reviews on the website, a lot of people have found this. Now, when I initially bought this, I was definitely a full 12, possibly even pushing towards a 14 at the time. It fit beautifully, except on the cuffs. I found the cuffs really quite uncomfortably tight, and so I actually unpicked the seam there just to allow an extra centimetre or so to make them more comfortable. I'm not going to bother sewing the back up because I made sure that there's no loose ends. It's not going to in any way fray anymore. But I definitely think when they were constructing this, they probably should have allowed another centimetre or two on the cuffs, because when I was reading the reviews, like I said, a lot of people seem to have the same complaint about the cuffs. Now, It says you can wear this as a Bardot style, so off the shoulders essentially. I can't wear that off the shoulders. The whole thing comes down because where I am not that busty, I think because this is a, you know, I am in the middle of this size. I think almost now, because I am now a 10 to 12, I'm definitely losing weight finally. I could have got away with a small now, but not when I bought it. When I bought it, I was definitely a solid medium. Now I could get away with a small, and if I wore it off the shoulders, the whole thing would fall off. So I don't think that that is something that I could do. And obviously because of this adjustable tie front, I have it absolutely at its tightest possible way that it can be tied. I am actually considering sewing a little bit of elastic over on the shoulder pieces, so pull the elastic really taut, sew it on so that it slightly ruches, just to make these fit a little bit better on the shoulders and across the back here, because it's starting to fall off on me now when I'm wearing it, which is annoying because I keep having to pull the shoulders up. But that won't be a problem for you if it's not kind of big on you. So it kind of depends where you sit in the size range. Now, I really like all the little details. I think that the ruffling detail on the skirt just gives it a little bit of interest. I mean, they've blatantly done it so that they don't have to use one huge piece of material and that they can use slightly smaller pieces of material. But that's fine. I think that the ruffling detail is really, really cute. It's something really, really different. You know, I just like it. And of course, I love the fact that it's got pockets. I think that is flipping back fantastic. This elasticated waist here, like I said, it doesn't snap it into you. But it does just mean that it keeps its shape, because sometimes things that are designed to be empire, they just sort of hang weirdly, and this means it does hang really, really nicely. Fit and sizing. So it's really comfortable. Like I've said, I would say I am now being a 10 to 12. I probably could get away with a small. So like I said, it depends where you sit on the sizing, what size you want to get. I just think it's really nice. It certainly makes your boobs look amazing. You know, my husband loves it when I wear this. If you are in any way not confident about your stomach, this dress is brilliant because it just glides with the empire line. It just glides over. And if you are pregnant, you will easily be able to fit a bump into this. I would suggest sizing up just to give yourself lots and lots of room. But this dress is great for people who are not comfortable with their tummy. So like I said, it does keep slipping off my shoulders now that I'm losing the weight. It was too tight on the arms. I definitely seem to carry my weight on my arms. So now that I'm losing weight, they've definitely got more comfortable. It's not nipping. The first few times I wore this, it would sort of get to about 8 p.m. and I'd go and take it off because my arms were uncomfortable because it had just been sort of niggling, and that was with me having split the seam here. So, you know, bear that in mind if you are choosing to buy it. I think it's a really, really gorgeous dress. Style and versatility. The milkmaid dress at the moment is so trendy, even in normal people fashion, and it's quite a timeless style. I have had milkmaid dresses prior to them all becoming really, really fashionable at the moment, and I think it's something that even once the trend has died and they're not in the shops as much, you can still definitely wear it out and you won't look unfashionable. I mean, being fashionable isn't something that people into goth are particularly worried about in that way, but I definitely think it's a solid dress. It'll be great for summers over and over to come. Really, really like it. I think it's one of these ones that is definitely more of a day dress. You can dress it up for like a day to night look, but if I was choosing an evening out outfit, this isn't one of my dresses that I would pick for the evening out. It's definitely a more solid daytime look. I think also because it's this viscose material, it doesn't look as polished because it does get a little bit crumpled. I just think it makes it look a little less polished, but also it makes it super comfortable. I like to wear this with either a belt here on the empire line, because you've got this gorgeous empire line accentuator, or even a harness. It does look amazing with a harness. Definitely gives it more of that sort of edgy look to it. It's kind of up to you what you want to wear. You can literally just wear it as it is, or pop a necklace on, something like that. It's, like I said, a daytime dress. I think the occasions you would wear it is maybe daytime to evening. So if you're out having a nice summer day, and then you go on to a restaurant sort of thing. You could maybe change up your jewellery, maybe put a pair of sort of fancier heels on or something like that. I would not wear this to a wedding. I have seen people wear milkmaid dresses to weddings, and I think you definitely could wear if it was made of something like linen or something, but I just think where it is such a thin floaty material, it's not really wedding material unless you're going to like a wedding on a beach or something like that. I think for a more formal wedding, this is too informal. Price. So this RRP's at £55, which I think is a bit expensive considering how thin the material is. As with everything Killstar, I did not pay £55. I waited until it was in a sale. I wouldn't pay £55 for it. No, I think they're asking too much. But then I think Killstar deliberately set their prices knowing almost nobody buys anything when it's full price. It's not a disgusting price for it as far as Killstar's concerned. If I was setting their price, I would have put it at a straight 50. And then obviously when it's in a sale, you would probably be paying like £38 or something like that. But it's up to them what they set their prices in. There is quite a bit of construction, so I can kind of see why they've done that, especially with it having the pockets, it having the ruffle detail and the elastication. There is work that has gone into it, so I can see how they came up with the price, but I do think is a little bit dear for what it is. Durability and care. So everything on Killstar says machine wash cold at 30 degrees. There's very little that doesn't say that. I think it's basically just the stuff that says wipe cleaner only. It washes really well. I always hang it up. I either hang it up on the line or I hang it up on like a curtain pole or in my airing cupboard to get it to dry. That also means then a lot of the creases drop out. If you really wanted it to be completely crease free, you could iron it, but it's not really the look that you're gonna go for. I think if you're going for this milkmaid style, it's not about it being ironed. Obviously you don't want it to look like it's been crumpled up on the floor in your bedroom, which I think if you're not careful about how you dry it, it could look like that. I definitely, once it's damp, I go round and I sort of stretch out all of this detail, this ruffle detail around the edge, just so that the ruffles look intentional rather than all sort of crunched up and creasy. It washes really easily and it dries very quickly because the material is thin. Everything on Killstar says machine wash cold, don't tumble dry. I don't like to tumble dry my clothes anyway. I think it, one, makes them really creased, and it shrinks them slightly. I just think it ruins the clothes. I only try and tumble dry things if I've got no other option. Plus it costs a fortune. Comparisons. Is there anything else on the market that is similar? I mean, at the moment, yes. So Disturbia have at least 2 dresses. Some of them are a bit shorter. This is super duper long. So they have the Marcia Midaxi dress, which is like a mid shin length dress. I mean, to be honest, on me, I bet you it's still full almost to my ankles, but this is trailing along on the floor if I have flip-flops on, sort of thing. There is the Mary Wyatt maiden linen dress. I have that dress. It is gorgeous. I definitely think the maiden linen dress from Mary Wyatt is something that you could wear to a wedding, whereas this is more informal. But the Mary Wyatt dress, I just think there's more in the construction of it. It's just a little bit more polished. Amazon have lots of them. River Island, ASOS, even the TikTok shop has a few that are like this, because it's just everywhere, this sort of shape at the moment. When I put it into Google, black milkmaid dress, hundreds of them turned up. So it really just depends what your budget is, what your shape is. Are you wanting long sleeves? Are you wanting no sleeves? You know, that kind of thing as to what items you could pick. But I couldn't find an absolute straight like for like comparison. So, you know, there is that. There is nothing that I could find with my, 5-minute research doing for this video that is a like for like copy. But there's lots on the market if you have slightly different wants and needs, and lots of plus size ones as well. There's lots of different ones on the market. But I really like this. In conclusion, the Heath Maxi dress, what do I think? I really like it. I have definitely worn it a lot over the summer. It's definitely been one of my go-tos because I feel like I look really nice even when I'm having I hate my body day. It was really great when I was feeling very bloated or, you know, really just not feeling my midriff at all, because it just skims over beautifully. So definitely good one when you're having a poor confidence day. It makes your bust look amazing, absolutely amazing, really, really frames the girls. But like I said, the cons are the material has no stretch, it's quite thin, and obviously this sleeve problem here, which, I mean, I think it's annoying. They should have just used a little bit more material making these puffed sleeves, and then they could have just added an extra centimetre. I'm wondering whether maybe they wanted it to stay though, so that if you wore it as the Bardot style, it sort of stayed on your bicep more. It might just be my particular shape, but the fact that there was so many reviews on their website saying that makes me think it's not just me. So that is my review of the Killstar Heath maxi dress in a size medium. Let's get on to the next item. The second item is the Killstar Forgotten Souls maxi dress in a size M. Materials and description. This is a gorgeous soft stretch fabric. It is 95% viscose, 5% elastane. It has got adjustable straps on the back here that are attached by little plastic hoops. So they are just plastic, they're not metal, and a little plastic sort of bra strap adjuster. It's a maxi length. It is very, very long on me. I am 5'3", 160 centimeters. It drags along the floor if I have just flat shoes on or flip-flops, etc. But it is fine with some platforms or some heels. It has got a statement centre split. I have never seen a dress from Killstar that I'm aware of, that I've noticed, with a centre split like that. So that's quite different. Normally a split is on one side or the other. So I just thought it was a bit different. It's got these crisscross straps across the centre of this V-necked front. So it's a V front here, and then you've got these crisscrosses here. It's not a pentagram, they just cross over one another. We've got this shaped here for your bust to sit in, so it does accommodate your bust very well. It is super fitted. The material, because it is 95% viscose, 5% elastane, it drapes really well, but it also does cling. It has great stretch, really good sort of what do they call it, three-way stretch. It stretches in all the different ways. I was a little bit concerned that the chest strap wasn't going to sit correctly, because I've had ones before where these are too long and so they sort of sag, or they're too tight and it kind of pulls it together weirdly. For me, they are perfect. They sit nicely so that it covers your chest, but it's not pulling it too tight, or they're just sagging of their own volition. I really like the fact that it's got these adjustable straps at the back, because it means that you can adjust how well it sits on you. The stitching on it has been fine. I've had no complaints. It is hemmed at the bottom with a simple, just turned over edge hem, as is the giant centre split. So everything seems to be fine with it. I haven't had any complaints. I haven't had to snip off any errant threads or anything like that. So yeah, very happy with it. It seems to be fine. Fit and sizing. So like I said, I am a size medium at the moment, a 10 to 12. When I was uncomfortable with my figure, this was not the dress that I was wearing, because it's very figure hugging. I would have been fine to wear it with a pair of like control pants, because it sort of smooths you down and you don't get the lumps and bumps on the side. However, in the heat of summer, you're not going to be wearing a pair of control pants. So, you know, on a summer's day, when I was not feeling my most attractive, this was not the dress that I was picking. I was definitely picking the previous dress, because, you know, this is quite figure hugging. It's very, very long. Like I said, I have to wear platforms or heels with it. It drags along the floor if I've got flip-flops on. However, it's not such an issue if I've got flip-flops on, because the centre split means that it sort of just parts from a side. Whereas if it was all one skirt piece, you might trip over it. So the slit is exceptionally daring. I wear hot pants underneath it when I'm wearing it, just to make myself feel a little bit more safe and secure. It just means then you haven't got to worry about having an accident, falling over and showing everybody your butt or whatever. And yeah, it's quite a short split, as you can see. It comes up pretty high. I like it. I think it's really, really different. Style and versatility. So because this dress is very form-fitting and figure-hugging, this is not something that I would wear to work. This is definitely a day out, summer day out, or an evening dress. This is also one that I don't feel very comfortable wearing in front of my dad, just because you've got this tress strap, which Heavy Metal Hubby loves it because he says it makes my boobs look amazing, but I don't feel comfortable feeling that exposed in front of my dad. So, you know, it's not something I'm going to wear to my dad's birthday party. I have worn this quite a few times on like a nice summer day out, especially with something like a collar or something like that. Or you could wear it on a day out with just some simple jewellery and then maybe make it into something a bit sexier for evening, maybe chuck on a pair of fishnets and some sort of little cute jacket or something like that, and a collar, that kind of thing. I like wearing it with something like a collar because where it's got these chest straps, they sort of come up to about there. So I find that a normal necklace like this, you can wear it, but they kind of interfere a little bit. So I like something that's a bit more of a choker type piece of jewellery to wear with it. I think that the levels work better, but you do you. I am just a bit funny about what I like to wear around my neck. I don't like there to be too many things intermingling with one another. But like I said, this dress is definitely more figure hugging than the other one. So, you know, if you are not into something that really shows off your figure, this is probably not the dress for you. Price. So this dress was £45. I think this is very reasonable considering the material. You know, I mean, the material is just sort of stretchy viscose with elastane in it, but I think it's £45 is fair because you've got these straps here, which just makes it a bit different, and it's well thought out. The slit is at a good height. They didn't just go, oh, we can't be bothered to sew it up and do that. I think the seams and stuff, and I like the fact that it's got these adjustable straps. So I think that really helps. It's enough construction in there to make it worth the £45. I think if they priced it any higher, that would be too expensive. So no, I think it's worth it. I think it looks lovely. Now, durability and care. It washes beautifully. Again, as always on Killstar's website, it says wash at 30 degrees, don't tumble dry. Again, this is one of those ones that you chuck it in the washing machine and then you can pop it on the line or hang it up and it dries beautifully. It doesn't need any ironing or anything like that. You could iron it if you wanted to. I don't bother. I can't see the point, you know. I just think it's a really nice day-to-day, day-to-evening dress. One of those dresses you can dress up, dress down, however you want to. Comparisons. Is there anything else on the market that is similar? So the only thing that I could find really was there's a dress called the Incantation Mesh Maxi dress from Disturbia, which is similar. It's got some form of a crisscross at the front. The other thing that you could do is wear something that's more of a basic cotton dress with a similar shape to this without this, and then wear one of those elasticated harnesses that you can get. They basically feel like bra strap material to get the same look. Foxblood do a basic dress that's similar shape to this called the Amelia dress, or you could just get a basic similar dress from, say, Next, ASOS, and like I said, put one of those elasticated harnesses that are very cheap and easy to get from Amazon, eBay. Everywhere seems to have them, you know, because there's not a lot of construction in them. It's just a load of different straps sort of thing. So if you want this feel but without paying the price, I would definitely say try a new look or a Next dress with a strappy thing. I just think it's really, really nice, a little bit different. I like the detailing. It just gives it that little bit of an edge. The slit is awesome, but if you are not daring, possibly not the dress for you. But that is the Forgotten Souls maxi dress in a size M. Our next dress is the Killstar Unholy Oath maxi dress in a size M. This, from where you can see, looks fairly dull and unexciting until you get to this gorgeous cathedral print on the bottom. This is a soft stretch fabric. This one is 94% viscose, 6% elastane, so 1% stretchier than the previous dress. It has this statement cathedral print at the bottom. Now, I can't tell if it's grey or khaki. In some lights it looks grey, in other lights it looks khaki. Maybe it's a khaki grey, I'm not really sure, but it's a really interesting, quite intricate print. Sort of, it's all very thin lines. They also do a few other things in it. I have a pair of leggings with the same print on it. Just something a little bit different. Again, this one has adjustable shoulder straps. We've got double straps that come up from the front here to the back. So one goes over just over the shoulder and one meets in the middle of the back. Again, these have these plastic O-rings to attach them and plastic adjustable bra straps on both. All four of the straps are completely adjustable. We have got, again, this shaped piece here for your bust. Very similar shape to the previous dress in that it's shaped for the bust. This is what they call a maxi length. This is not as long as the others. I can wear this with flip-flops and only the very, very bottom of this handkerchief hem drags along the floor. Literally the very bottom tendrils just drag along the floor. And they describe this as fitted. Now, I would argue this isn't as fitted as the other one. This is definitely not as bodycon as the Unholy Oath, but it is tailored. So the quality and the construction. So this fabric, again, it's soft, it's drapey, it's stretchy, and so it sits well, it drapes very well on your body. I think this one skims over more. So again, skims over your tummy a little bit more. So if you're feeling a bit more self-conscious about your stomach, etc., then I would tend to gravitate towards this dress over the Unholy Oath dress. I've only felt comfortable in the Unholy Oath dress fairly recently, whereas this dress I wore throughout the summer. Now, it's my one thing about the construction is one of these straps is sewn on backwards. This strap here, it comes across over from the front, and they've sewn it onto the back bit here, back to front. So the brass, it twists, literally twists. I could unpick it and resew it. It doesn't bother me enough to warrant doing it. But if it really got on my nerves, I could unpick where this is attached and take it off and switch it round and sew it back. Just annoyed me a little bit because that's clearly a quality control issue at Killstar. I'm assuming not every single one of them is sewn on backwards or twisted. But yeah, my particular one was twisted, but it's not enough to worry about and send back. So the stitching is again all fine. I haven't had to snip anything, obviously, other than the problem of it being back to front. The end is overlocked. It's not hemmed like the previous dresses are. This is just overlocked on the rough edge, but with the handkerchief hem, I think that really works because it makes it sort of curl and undulate and gives it this lovely sort of ruffled texture on the edge, which with the print on it, I just think it's really nice. It sort of curls up on the ends, just gives it something a little bit different. Fit and sizing, I got a size M. I think that this fit me really well. If anything, now it's starting to be a little bit loose on me. That's fine though. I picked these items knowing that they might get a little bit loose on me, and I can either take them in or I can just wear them a little bit looser. I think this one's great. I like the fact, like I said, it skims over your tummy. Just feels a bit more easy to wear when you're not feeling so self-conscious about yourself. You can wear this and be like, okay, that's fine. You know, nobody can see my tummy that I'm feeling funny about today. Style and versatility. So this dress is a great day to night dress. Again, I have worn this to the beach with just a pair of flip-flops. I have worn this with some really cool statement jewellery and a nice little jacket and some killer heels. And again, it looks great. This was brilliant on holidays, a really good day to night dress. I mean, you could wear it to a wedding. I don't think it would be out of place at a wedding. The material might make it a little too casual, but I think you could dress it up in such a way that you could get away with wearing this at a wedding. It is terrible for muddy festivals. Absolutely terrible for muddy festivals, because I stupidly didn't have very much to wear when we went to Download Festival because almost none of my clothes fit. I had decided it was going to be glorious. It was not going to rain. So I wore this dress with these tendrils that drag in the mud when you're wearing your new rocks. Even when they sit quite a bit above the bottom of my foot, but because it was so muddy, they were absolutely caked in mud. In fact, I had to get a tool and scrape mud out of the little channels on these drapey handkerchief hems, and it meant when the mud was wet, you'd go to the toilet, you'd pull up your skirt, and all the tendrils would slap you in the bare leg while you're trying to, and on the bare bottom while you're trying to have a wee. So a terrible dress for a muddy festival. If it had been glorious, oh my god, I would have looked so cool. But yes, I question my choices every day at Download when I wore this, but you live and you learn. I won't make that mistake again. But no, it's a beautiful, beautiful dress. I really like it. I really like the fact that it's got this little bit of detailing on it, because I don't tend to wear things that have anything on them. Everything I wear tends to just be straight black, or maybe it's like a mesh with a pattern in it or something. So it's really nice to have something a little bit different in my wardrobe. I think my mum was kind of surprised because she was like, oh my god, it's not just straight black. Price. This was £50. I think that is fair for £50. In fact, I think possibly it should have been more like 45, like the Unholy Oath dress was, because at the end of the day, the materials are the same. There's not a lot of complicated construction in there, especially seeing as the fact it's not even hemmed at the bottom, it is just overlocked. But I mean, that works with the style, but I don't think there's been a lot of engineering going in other than to make these straps. But I mean, they're all adjustable. You haven't got to, get the lengths right and things like that. So again, I wouldn't pay £50 for it. I would wait till it was on sale, but I don't think it's a terrible ask for it to be 50 quid. I think for Killstar's prices, that's kind of fair. So yeah, not disgusted with the price, would prefer it to be cheaper. Durability and any care instructions, it's the usual. Wash it at 30 degrees, do not tumble dry it. Again, wash is lovely because it's this nice viscose material. It dries beautifully on the line, it dries beautifully if you hang it up. I really like to hang it up, it makes those tendrily bits sort of curl as well. I wouldn't iron it, I think you would lose that nice curl on the hem if you ironed it. And actually I'm not quite sure how well the print would cope with you ironing it. I'm not sure if it actually is a print or if they've just... No, I think it is a print, but it's not... Yeah, it does feel slightly textured, so I think it is a print. Do not dry clean is what they say, and it says iron on low, which I'm assuming is because of the print on it. So, comparisons. Weirdly, this was actually difficult to find anything that there was of comparableness, even without the print. Obviously, the print sets it apart from everything else anyway. The only thing that I could find really was Halara had a twisted front dress which is a similar shape to this, and Disturbia have the Vipera dress in both black and green, but they are velvet, so they are not something you're going to be wearing out to like a summer festival or something like that. But it is a very similar shape to this. New Look had some similar ones and ASOS had some similar ones, but there was nothing that I would say was like a straight swap comparison, which is weird. I kind of thought this 90s style was really back, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I really like this dress. I think it's very easy to wear. It's definitely, this one and the Milkmaid dress have definitely been my two go-to dresses over the summer this year. And I definitely think it's one that I'll still be able to wear even when I've lost the weight and I've gone back. And if not, I can always just literally take it in a little tiny bit on the sides. But I think it will still look good if it's a little bit oversized anyway. Very happy with that. Something nice and a little bit different with that beautiful print on the bottom. That is the Unholy Oath maxi dress in a size medium. Now we're on to the last dress. This is the Killstar Spectral Galaxy maxi dress in a size M or medium. This again is a soft stretch fabric. This is 96% viscose, 4% elastane. Different to the other 96% viscose, 4% elastane. It feels different. It's thinner and it's a bit more see-through, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's got these ruffled layered details. So we've got like almost like a capelet here over the back, and then we've got these ruffled like draped short sleeve. So you've got one layer of drapingness and then another layer here. So you end up with this sort of tiered ruffles on the top. You've got these ruffles that run down from the sleeves all the way down the front to about 2/3 of the way down, and then you've got this handkerchief hem at the bottom here, which is, it's very, very long. It's got what they call a statement lettuce hem finish. What they mean is they've just overlocked it all and it's really, really crinkly and ruffly on the edge, so they've called that a lettuce hem. It's also, like I said, it's got this handkerchief hem right at the bottom here, and it's got this deep V-neck at the front. Now, the materials wise, it feels thinner and it's almost slightly scratchy texture, only slightly, but it's definitely more textured than the previous dress that was exactly the same percentage, 96% viscose, 4% elastane. So I don't know how they've managed to make it have a different texture. When you're looking at it, it almost looks like it's made of chiffon, and then you touch it and you're like, no, it's not. And it's definitely stretchy, which chiffon is not stretchy. But I was surprised. This one, again, like I said before, it's really see-through when you put it up to a window or something like that. So again, definitely you would need to wear underwear with it, unless, like I said before, you're a real exhibitionist. I was kind of surprised by how thin it was. This, out of all of these dresses, is possibly my least favourite. I can't really explain why. It's just the way it fits. So the fit and the sizing, again, it's a medium. It fits, if anything now I'd say it's a little bit baggier. When you look at the website pictures, I only realised it after I bought it, the model is never just stood there. She's constantly holding the skirt or pulling it somehow or moving, or she sort of stood in a really weird pose where she's like looking back over her shoulder. So you can't get a good view of just how the dress fits on, like if you put it on a dummy sort of thing. Which I should have realised means that normally they're not that confident in the shape of it. It's fine. fine, it fits fine. It does cling a little bit to my stomach, which I wasn't a huge fan of. It's not terrible. It does seem to drape over to a degree, but not like the other ones. There's definitely, I feel more self-conscious about my stomach in it. But this sleeves, they drape very well. So they cover any bingo wings if you've got them. I would say though that the shape is not sexy and it's not particularly flattering like the other ones. It's fine, it just feels like it's kind of there. Style and versatility, I would have normally put a belt with this, but because of these ruffles that run down the front, it kind of looks a little bit weird if you put a belt with it. You could put a belt with it and just kind of ignore it, but it just doesn't feel like that's what you're supposed to do with it, because obviously you could just sit it flat, but again it feels like you're sort of forcing it to do something it's not really supposed to do. It does look nice. You put a little cute necklace on with it. It can feel a bit mumsy if you don't style it right. So you could style it with like a really, really kind of metal hat, you know, with like spikes in it and that kind of thing, and maybe like a spiky collar and some little, like, you know, the little biker boots that they do with the spikes on it, something like that. That gives it more of a metal edge. But if you took all of that away, you could put this on my sister and you wouldn't think goth. So it's more of one of those pieces you kind of need to style up or style down, whereas some of the other items you immediately look at, particularly the Unholy Oath dress. My sister would never be seen dead in that. It's got too many sort of goth coded things like the straps across the front and that kind of thing. It's definitely the one I wear least, because it just kind of makes me feel a bit mumsy and bland, and it's not sexy. It's definitely not a sexy dress. It's quite parish councillor, you know, but this is the kind of thing that you could wear to work. You could wear this to work with proper underwear on, because like I said, it's a little bit see-through, and I think that this would be a perfectly work acceptable dress. So if you're wanting something to wear as like a relaxed summer corporate goth, I'm not saying if you work in a high-powered lawyer's office that this is going to be suitable, but when I was at the design studio, for example, I would happily wear this. I would not have worn any of the, maybe the milkmaid dress, but I wouldn't have worn the other two dresses to work there. That would have been inappropriate. Whereas I could happily wear this and nobody would bat an eyelid. My mum likes this dress on me. I wore it out when we were on holiday a few times. My mum really liked it, which therefore immediately makes me go, I don't like it. So take that as you will. It's fine. There wasn't enough complaints about it to make me send it back, particularly because I didn't have a lot of clothes at the time. I think if I was buying this now, where I'm starting to fit more of my older wardrobe, I probably would have sent it back. But, you know, at the time I needed stuff to wear on holiday, so I kept it. Definitely not my favourite thing, but it does come out occasionally. There are certain, you know, events and stuff that it is the right thing to wear. Price. It's 55 quid. I think that is steep because of how mumsy it is. Because, you know, you could walk into a high street store and I'm sure you could find something similar because of how kind of mumsy it is. Again, the care instructions on it, it says wash at 30 degrees, do not tumble dry, iron low, the usual care instructions. So comparison wise, Disturbia have something called the Lumen dress, which is, there's some ruffles. Foxblood have the Sophia dress, which has got ruffles down the front, but I definitely think that is a sexier dress. Or the Gemma dress, which is more of this slightly mumsier ruffle. But again, I just think both of those dresses from Foxblood are nicer. So I think if I lived in America and therefore could get Foxblood clothing, I would have picked either or both of those dresses over this dress, especially because I think price point wise, they're quite a similar price point. ASOS have had quite a few things similar. I've noticed quite a few of the dresses when I looked up ruffle hem dress, I kept coming up with lots of things that were in plus sizes. So on things like boohoo.com and stuff like that, there was a lot that were plus sizes, but I couldn't find any in what I would call a normal size as well. I do think that the fashion industry does try to make plus size people feel a little bit like they shouldn't be sexy and that they should be dressing a little more mumsy, which is not great. I mean, it might just be though that they're left because they haven't sold. So because plus size people have gone, I'm not wearing that. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's definitely, I think the least sexy out of all the items that I have shown you. Is my least favourite out of all of them, but it has a place, I think, you know, and if you're not daring, you don't like being sexy, this could be the dress for you. I find myself choosing it far less than the other 3 dresses. That is the Killstar Spectral Galaxy dress in a size medium. So that is the 4 dresses reviewed. What are your thoughts? Which is your favourite? Do you have any of these dresses? Do you have any complaints, any questions about any of these dresses? Do you have any questions that you have for me about them? I would love to answer them in the comments. Do you have any other videos that you would like me to make? I know I've been making quite a few of these sort of haul review videos because I have a lot of clothes that are sort of stacked up because I had to just bite the bullet and buy myself some new stuff at some point. So there's quite a few haul videos coming. Are there any other kind of videos that you would like me to make? Because I do worry that you guys get bored of me making these videos over and over and over again that are essentially the same thing. So let me know if you have any new video ideas that you would like me to make, and I will put them in my Trello board so that I can get to making them. And remember to like this video, comment down below to discuss any of the things that have come up in the video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and thank you to all of you that already do. Hit that notification bell so you can find out whenever I upload. And remember people, stay heavy.